I said, I have never in my life heard of playing nice in the sandbox. So for me, I guess we could start off as like, if I was, so when I talk, no, I guess you could just start off as saying like what playing nice in the sandbox really means, or to you.
Right. So for me, playing nice in the sandbox is pretty much getting along well with your peers. So at work, I have to constantly play nice in the sandbox because you go to work to make money. You don't necessarily go to work to make friends, but a lot of times you run into people for whatever reason. You may not get along with them. They may not like you. You may not like them.
Right.
But I still have to play nice because there's a common goal, which is our job, and we're there to make money and get a product out. So playing nice in the sandbox to me is just, how are you? Even though I may not be like,
and where did you first hear that at?
Oh God, I came here in '84, so I've always heard it. It's like a white person.
I've never heard it.
Yeah,
long time.
Yeah, long time.
So we was kind of so we went over and we did our homework, of course, because when we was going back and forth to we kind of got into like a debatable. You know, I always trying to ask outside resources about how they felt about it, and we was coming up with different scenarios. Hey Yolanda, my sister. How you doing?
Alex.
So the thing about it, Yolanda, you are in corporate, so I really like. For the people that's like really in corporate and all this stuff, I thought for me playing nice in the sandbox, when I was doing my homework on like studying about it, it was totally different for me because we was also talking like in a relationship. So we started like in a relationship, a marriage, a friendship, or whatever. Like for me playing nice in the sandbox, when you said it to me, it was just outright like you're being phony. Mm-hmm. That's how I took it. Yeah. It's like I could not get like if there was a situation or anything, like I'm not gonna play with you at all because that's how I felt about like look at that. That's the same look she gave me. Like oh my God, I'm like Tiffany. I know you like Tiffany, but play nice in the sandbox. I just don't get that. Now I get it at work. Okay, so if you're at work playing nice in the sandbox, you have to. Mm-hmm. For whatever reasons, mm-hmm. right? Like you said,
yeah,
you have to. We took the notes. It says. You know, you have to collaborate to do work. Mm-hmm. You have to get a certain goal to be done. And, you know, those things go well with working, with playing nice in the sandbox. But what's the difference when it comes to reality of life?
Friendship?
Yeah.
Well, it's like this. Let's use for an example. Us girls are all hanging out. Mm-hmm. But let's just say there's one girl in the group you may not like very much. Mm-hmm. It's not necessarily fake to be cordial. Mm-hmm. That's playing nice in the sandbox to me.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if you speak to her and you may sit two people from her and you engage in conversation like, you know, an adult without an attitude, to me, that's just playing nice in the sandbox. Now, when you leave, you ain't got to call her, you ain't got to text her, you ain't got to, if you see her out in the street, you can keep doing what you do. But since because of the dynamic of the group, you don't want to make it weird for everyone else because you and her aren't getting along.
Right.
So that, to me, is playing nice in the sandbox in a personal setting.
Right. How you feel about Ms. She would not play in the sandbox.
I'm like Tiffany. I'd rather be forward, up front. I don't believe in sugarcoating. I don't want to play games with nobody. If I don't like you, you will not see me having no dealings with you.
So you wouldn't go out like if you in a group?
Like in a group setting, yes, because I wouldn't want to make everybody else feel uncomfortable. So yes, but you still wouldn't see me holding conversation with that person.
Okay.
It would be very short, straight to the point.
Okay.
And that would be done.
So I would love to hear if anybody's out there pertaining to their job. So we could come up or anything about playing nice in the sandbox. What was some of the things? So my thing that I had on here. What are some of the top things to help you? And because I really need the help to understand of how to play nice in a sandbox. I don't like it. I'm
so
be real.
So playing nice. Well, I think that if there's an issue, you should address it right away. Mm-hmm. Whether you do it, personally, just you and that person, or if you get an understanding like from the jump, like, you're not going to disrespect me, or, we're going to talk to each other like adults. Sometimes you have to do that in a group setting because you do have those kind of people
right.
that think that they can just say any and everything, and just because, I guess your quiet is timid, and you just have to let them know right quick, not today,
right.
Or just, I'm not that type of person that you're not going to talk to me. So I think addressing it right away is a good way to, because trust me, if you snip back at that person, 9 times out of 10, they'll think twice before they'll try to run some mess on you again.
Right.
Well,
go ahead.
Alex actually says, when playing in the sandbox, we should be kind. Some people perceive kindness as weakness.
Mm-hmm.
The challenge is to show strength with kindness.
Mm-hmm.
Your thoughts? I actually agree with that.
I do it
agree
all
with
day
that.
at work.
Yeah.
I work in a factory.
And I
so
mean,
I'm
I
always
can do
dealing
it, and
with
then,
people.
I know, and when you said that, like, I can actually do it with work, and it was the hardest thing because I'm not just going to generally just say Minnesota. It's just the women to me, now that I've been, like, more out, because, like I said, genuinely, it was just, like, you have your tight circle, and then now I'm, like, more abroad, like, you know, with a lot more people. I just never seen so much of a personal relationship that is not likable, but they are playing nice in the sandbox. That worries me because, like, you're with this person and then it's like you're with them and you have no idea who you're really with. So I guess that's the Minnesota nice nasty.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody is okay with that. That's why I couldn't get play nice in the sandbox, because I'm like, why would it even be an opportunity to play with the person at all? Just because I remember that a lot can go down at the sandbox.
Right.
You know, you get into a fight. You know, you can get jumped. Anything where I'm from. But then you in the sandbox with people that you know don't want to play, and I could not get people telling me to be nice in the sandbox when I don't want to play with you.
Do you think that stems from jealousy? And when I say that, jealousy is close to, what do they say, death, murder? Mm-hmm. When you got a person, they mm-hmm. say a jealous person is a murderous person.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that playing nice in the sandbox, would you say that would be jealousy? That you can't play nice in the sandbox? There would have to be a reason.
Why you can't be nice?
Why you can't be nice?
Dang.
Especially if you don't.
No, but you gotta try.
No, she said if you cannot be nice. So if I can't be nice to you, that means that there was some kind of jealousy that I can't, like, humble myself down to be nice to you.
I think that person probably has an issue.
Ooh. Okay, so I got Janelle. She said, treat people the way you want to be treated, and you don't have to like everyone. Yolanda said, at work or at home, I often set the expectation of respect. I think it all starts at the end with the respect. And Janelle said, amen, Yolanda. And that was the thing for me. Like, it wasn't an issue for me. I just had when I heard that phrase, for me, I would rather, if it was any conflict or if it was anything, I would rather just, like, remove myself from it. Mm-hmm. So you wouldn't have to worry about it. But then I kind of, wavered with the idea of, be nice. You have to be cordial. It's with anybody. And a couple of situations has happened to me since that. And I'm like, I just don't get it. Like, it was so hard. Like, I had a headache for like 3 days of trying to be, like, nice mm-hmm. and play nice in the sandbox because I just could not do it. And I don't know why. And, I was kind of sharing it with y'all. It was like I could not sleep. And it was, like, not a big thing. But it was just the point of, like, how do you play nice in the sandbox with somebody that don't want to play with you? And I just don't know if that phrase get us to a point where we will be... So we'll always be like fake, phony, and always be around people that's not nice. But, and I mean, this is what I told you.
I know you struggle with the situation.
I struggle.
You did.
I'm not going to struggle. I'm like,
but that's the thing.
I cannot sleep.
People show you how to treat them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
People show you how to treat them. So when somebody shows you who they are, you treat them for what they are.
Treat them accordingly.
You treat them accordingly. You put them in that category. Okay, you one of those. All right, there you go over there. And I can still mingle and deal with it. Mm-hmm. I have no problem with knowing who belongs where in my life.
Right, because we was at the shop and, it always gets heated at the shop. And so I test it out at the shop before I always bring it to the podcast. But it was like people were really okay with, like, I would see a person, I would smile at them, I would hug them. And be like, keep it moving. And I'm like,
Tiffany,
I just could not, like, it would just be written all over my face. Like, if you did something to me, I could not, like, hey, how you doing? Like, and it was a situation, that we kind of had discussed about. And I was like, you are amazing to be able to be in amongst it. Like, it would eat at my spirit to not even address it or to say anything about it, knowing that, that it was some kind of tension or anything. Mm-hmm. And let alone go out and hang out with you.
Right.
So, I don't know.
The hanging out part is different, but yeah.
I don't even want you in my presence. That's how I think. I just feel, but so I don't know. So
what if it was a long time relationship? I mean, could you play nice then if mysteriously all of a sudden?
I've been in that situation. It's very hard. It's like, because for some reason, and like I said, and people could help me out. Like, for me, in my opinion, it's just like, I just think like it's really having me to look at some things other than what I've been looking at for my healing process. Mm-hmm. Because even if it is like, if it was somebody that you was with, even though you try to get over it, it seemed like always pop up to be like, I can't even be nice to this person because when you were nice, it was taken advantage of.
Right.
So it's like, for me to play with you, like, I want to still play with you, but I'm scared to play with you because if I was this person at that point, who knows what you would do outside of that, outside of that. So it's a very hard, it's very challenging for me. I don't do all that, Facebook stuff to kind of like expose different things, but it's been a lot since a week. It's been a lot that I had to be like, I don't know how to play nice. I just would like cut it off and don't deal with it.
Now let me ask you this: do you think because you feel like you're older, wiser, mature, and you don't have the patience for it, or do you just feel like, because back in the day we all was different when we was younger, and there would be some things you could tolerate, and then there are some things that you couldn't.
I just think at this point, once you recognize and the things that you have been through, like, I just wouldn't. I think I said this to you guys, and it's on the spiritual part. Like, why would you want a Judas around you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, why would you want to have a, I just, especially identifiable and a recognizable, and somebody that says that they are, I can't play with you because you're dangerous. That's just how I feel about it. Like, you are dangerous. And I mean, I don't know if it's because it's older. I think it's because of all the experience of being around that situation, and it happens to you and you just like stick around, and then your ass get tore up later, and then you have to pick up the pieces. But it's like I went to this certain, and I kind of was talking, like I said, I try to get all kind of opinions about it. But it's like things that you see, or when you're with people, or relationships, friendships, or whatever, if you already see the stuff that is done, like the expectation that it will probably happen to you as well. You know what I mean?
Right. So, and it will, because that Judas will show his colors to everybody eventually.
Time.
Yolanda said, Tiffany, I think it's a matter of changing your interactions with these people. I often set boundaries with myself, how I move with those type of people. That was another thing I heard about boundaries.
Yeah.
I used to always hear that until now. Like, Tiffany, you need to set boundaries. And I'm like, I didn't get what boundaries meant until now, because it's just like, at this point, like, nope. So,
Amos says, I don't do fake, keep it real.
Right. And this is dangerous. No, I'm serious. Like, how do y'all feel? Like, I do not know. It's like a lot of, because I'm in the state of Minnesota, not downplaying Minnesota, but a lot of the women that I interact with are okay with this play nice in the sandbox. And is just as cutthroat as ever. I mean, you would like literally, like, we'll be sitting here and they'll be like, da 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 da. That person walk up like, hey girl, I ain't seen you in so long. You be like,
on the inside, that look,
playing nice in the sandbox, that will get you hurt. To me, I mean, just where I'm from, I cannot.
Well, that's why you got to learn your boundaries.
Yeah, I do, because it's crazy. So, I put a note on my thing. I said, does playing nice mean play the game?
Yeah, probably a little bit.
That's terrible. Ooh, wee. Ooh, that is. It's playing the game, right?
Well, it's playing the game or being fake. Which one do you want to call? It's the same thing.
Lord Jesus.
You're being fake to a certain extent. You know what I mean? Because when you do all that, that's fake. And if you're trying to be cordial and playing the sandbox and you're in the group, you're not going to just ignore that person because you're trying to play nice. So you're going to be like, hey, good to see you. And you'll keep it going, but you still know where...
But don't that bother you?
No, that don't bother me.
That don't bother you if you don't like somebody, you see them and just like, hey, and then hug them and all that shit. I will be irritated. Do not touch me. Do not come in my presence.
No. So what... I mean, it must be something that they had to have done to you to make you be that way. I don't think I've ever had anyone do something so much to me that I would ignore them in that situation.
Girl. Really?
Mm-mm.
Well, you ain't been burnt. Somebody ain't gave your butt a good old licking on the I know it's just like certain situations, just like I could not stomach it. I don't know. Maybe I just overlooked it.
I tell you what, at my one day job, there's people I just stay far and clear from. I don't even want you to say good morning. Don't say hi. Don't say nothing to me. Because trust and believe, I'm not gonna say nothing to you.
But I
can walk right past you and be like,
right. I think I can do it well at a workplace because yeah.
I mean, I can
Corporate,
deal with
right?
you on a work level and get things done on a work level, but besides work level, don't ask me how my weekend was. Don't ask me how my day. Don't ask me nothing.
Right, but don't you think? But here's the thing. Don't you think something is wrong with a person that does that know that they don't like you?
I think they purposely do it on purpose. Like the one
that is so irritating. That will get you hurt.
He does it on purpose.
Right.
Like literally, he
like no, you don't like them. And I got a friend that would do that. No, you don't like them. And she would be like, hey, girl. I'm like, good, you do it to them. Because if you know that I did not like you and then you purposely speak to me and like put me in a situation where, you know.
Maybe she's trying to be the bigger person.
No,
and show that there's
messy.
no hard feelings.
That's what she's doing.
She's
being messy. She's
like
being
you said,
messy.
a guy speaking to you at work, like, you know I don't like you. And like,
like you done went to management, you done caused all kind of mess and drama. Don't say nothing to me. Don't
Right.
say nothing to me. I'm good, you good. Even when we can work together, like work, that's it.
Right.
Don't say nothing else. Like, and he's like that. He'll be like, oh, good morning, and
and my blood pressure would be so.
Girl, I look at him and I just walk away because I just feel like it's best that I walk away before I say something.
Oh, Lord,
Yeah.
Lord.
And
Okay.
in the morning time is not a good time anyways. Right? I'm not a morning person, so.
So what about playing nice in relationships?
Ooh.
How is that with, you know, if you're in a serious relationship? I played nice in a relationship before, and then I'm like, I'm leaving in like 2 months. I'm gonna play nice in the sandbox. I could do that well in a relationship, but I can't do it well with the other stuff. Especially if you done something to me, I'll be like, oh, hey, good morning. You want some eggs and bacon?
Now that I cannot play nice in the sandbox with.
I
in
think in a relationship
I
you
can't.
gotta be forward and
I
upfront,
can't.
and then the boundary thing comes in, because you want your mate know how you are. Like, I don't want to be fake. I would never be fake.
Yeah, I can't be
I
fake
gotta
with
be
a lover.
real. Yeah.
I just rather go to my room and not deal with him until I'm ready.
Mm.
And I'm
But
like
you can
this,
see
when I say
somebody
leave
that
me
you
alone,
don't like in the streets. Yeah,
I could do that because
Yeah.
I don't go home to them.
right?
I don't have to deal
Yeah,
with them.
your spouse
Y'all helping
is
me out because this is like my
something
therapy because I could not. Okay. What about in a partnership?
You mean like a business
Business
partnership?
partners?
Mm-hmm.
Oof. I don't think
Ooh,
that's.
I don't think that would
You
work.
should be fake on that either. No.
Yeah, I don't think I
think
can do
needs
that
to
one.
be very.
So many
very
people have
real.
been in partnerships and people was like playing nice in the sandbox and right before their eyes everything was taken away or
Yeah,
something
you can.
changed.
Yeah, you can only play with a partnership because that's why you see so many people going
Mhm.
business
Yep.
breaking up
Mhm.
because eventually it's gonna come to a head. You can only be fake so long,
Right.
before you're like, hell up with that. I had enough of this.
Right.
Right.
I don't want to deal with this guy no more. No.
So a lot of people that was on there was saying that they like to play nice in the sandbox, not to cause strife. I know there's some peace.
I don't mind conflict, but if I can avoid it, I will.
We know, mother-in-law. so, and I'm like, you know what? For me, it's like this is nothing. I'm having a hard time with. Like, I hear a lot of talking out here, like a lot, and I want everybody that know me from home, they know me as this person. And then I had like my home from where I was born, and then like my home life, which was like my relationships and that, and then like the other person that's now coming back out. It's like a little mixture of where I'm from and then like this other person, but it's a lot that people do to not cause strife, but it's like it will cause more strife. You know what I mean? Like to not say anything prior to addressing it, and then instead of being a certain type of way, because if you're feeling some type of way, the best way is to just to handle it,
Mm-hmm.
and then move on. So then we can at least try to play it again. You know.
Yeah, because if you have the conversation and you realize the person doesn't want to play nice, at least you tried and you can move on from there. That's why if you're ever in a group setting, it's easy to speak be cordial and keep it moving. But then you know outside of that.
Right. That's true.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, but I know a lot of people, they don't want to play. So, does playing nice in the sandbox actually cause a solution? Does it bring on a solution?
Of playing nice in the sandbox?
Yeah. I think it's.
Is there a solution to playing nice in the sandbox? In so many words.
I mean, does it bring a solution?
Well, does it bring a solution?
I know for me, yeah.
Depends on the situation.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because like I said, if you have a conversation and you see that they don't want to play nice in the sandbox, then it is what it is. Mm-hmm. You just keep it moving outside of the group, because you don't want all your friends to be like, okay, well, I can't invite so and so if I invite so and so because they don't get along. You know what I mean? You don't want to bring your friends into that mess, so it's easier to just, hey, okay, you doing good? That's cool, and just keep it moving. Yeah.
So some people think that when they play nice and don't, I just think it doesn't, because at the end, it's something that's going to explode. You know what I mean? If you don't handle it and get a real solution to the issue or whatever it is, playing nice, it's going to show. I just think it's going to show eventually. You know what I mean? Because somebody was...
It depends on how long and how much you play in the sandbox.
Shit. I mean, dang. Like,
I mean, if it's a one-time occasion, then go ahead, do the song and dance. But if it's something where it's an everyday and
this person is constantly being
nasty, because you can only be
play nice for
so long. Yeah.
I was just in awe, y'all. I'm so for real to just hear women say that they do it all the time and like they could do it all the time. I'm like, how could you do that? Play nice all the time.
You know what I was just thinking?
What?
I think women do it, but I don't think men do it.
Oh, no.
No. Men do it?
No, because you know what? Actually, Tito, and he approved me saying this. He said that it's been people that have done things to him, and like he know that they done things or said things about him. And he said when he see him, he's just like, hey, what's up? And he's like, it don't bother him at all.
But he doesn't hang out with that person. No. So, yeah, he's playing, so he knows how to, it's a game. Yeah, it's a game. You just have to do it.
Girl, that would stress me out. I don't know how to get over it. I need somebody help. I need somebody help me. Rhonda said, see, I think me and Rhonda kind of the same. She said, it does not bring forth a resolution. It just build up for another day. And I think it too, Rhonda. It's like, I feel that because more so the topic is about me, because like I said, I've had several situations that has happened within this month and I try to resolve it because I do want to go to the more mature way of handling things now, because at the point Pookie and them, like, no. And like you said, it just builds up for another day. For me, what surprised me was when I felt the way that I felt or wanted to handle it the way I handle it. Like, just say, forget it. Like, I'm done with that person. Like, it's cool. Or I'm done with that situation. Or they did that to me. It's fine. Cut them off. Because I usually would have been the person that played in the sandbox. And that person would continually probably kept doing it. And I just take the high route and just say, forget it. And be like, hey, how you doing? Because another thing that getting misconstrued is kindness will kill. Kindness will kill them with kindness. But after that, it's like, no. So maybe because of all that does not work. Eventually, sometimes you got to be the same equal with the person that you're dealing with. And for me, it was just like talking to people outside of us. Because I know how you will feel about it. Like you said, the sandbox, play nice. Just be cordial. Keep it moving. It's not that big a deal. They're not paying your bills. But it was, to me, when you look around your circle and see so many women that are okay with playing nice and they like to do it. Like, they would never tell you how they feel. They would never tell you that they don't like you. They would never not hang out with you. They would never not let you know that they don't like you. Like, they will continually, at all times, be nice, knowingly that they don't like you. That was scary to me.
Well, that is scary, but how do you know that person exists in your group?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, how would you ever find out? You just never know.
It's eventually going to show, depending on how much you hang around that person, because people's body, their demeanor is different.
Right. Yes. So remember we were talking about that the other day, that certain people's looks kind of give away what they're thinking.
Right. But but you can avoid all that by you just tell the person, just don't be around me. We don't have to play.
Well, because
girl. I don't Minnesota.
Well, you know, you just want
to. So Rhonda was on here, which was a great example. Rhonda said we had our issues in the past, and it was for some reason me and her used to always bump heads. But she's very headstrong. I'm very headstrong, and it's like she would just be like, if she had something to say, and at that time I was more like you, like, oh, don't let it, you know. And she'd be like, boop, 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 like, no, I'm going to say it how it is, you know, whatever. And I was like, you're rude, you know, and it's like, you know, and we were like, and no, not in the, like, she would just always say how she felt, and she didn't play like nobody playing in the sandbox. If you was, that was like 10 years ago. Like, she didn't allow people to be in that situation to have the after effects of getting your feelings hurt. She was very protective of herself. So I couldn't understand that, because I was like, oh, well, she's just being a bee because she's not letting people play. But now I get it. Like 10 years later, like I see why you have to be like, doop, 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 like you're full of shit. You're full of shit. Like out my box. You know what I mean? Because you would eventually, it would just pile up, and it also allows them more access to do more damage to you.
In that case, and that's when you remove yourself from the sandbox.
Right.
Because what's going on in the sandbox ain't good for you. It ain't healthy for you. It's time to come from amongst it.
Come back to sandbox, like I'm gonna build a whole new sandbox. Right. And she said the truth was protective of myself. And that's the thing about it. And that's how I feel about it now, Rhonda, now that I've been in a couple of situations, is like, you have to protect yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Not because I'm thinking that now. And some people be like, oh, I've been doing that. You know, people say that or whatever. But I was more of a person that give people 1,000 chances. And I would see it black, but I was like, that's like a charcoal gray.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing about it. Protecting yourself will always get you to that point of, you know, being around and being aware of things that's around you. But now it's so common. It's like even with the millennials. This is like with everybody. It's okay to be that smiling face and be okay with it. With no conscience. If I'm mad at you, I cannot sleep until I tell you that I'm mad at you. You know what I'm saying? You see the situation I'm like, I cannot sleep. I cannot, if I'm having an issue with you, if I have to tell you something or there's something going on, I cannot just go to sleep. We cannot go to bed.
We know. I'm working late to chiming in. I'm like, she's awake. It's bothering her.
Because I could not understand how, you know, you could just be just like, it's okay. I don't know. Something may be wrong with me, but, you know.
It's nothing wrong with you. It's nothing wrong to be real to yourself. If that's how you feel, it's how you feel.
Mm-hmm.
So Trinice also said, I think you have to care enough to play. That's true. That's a good one.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? I think that's what helps me is because I have my best friends. I have my sister. So if I didn't have any other friends in the world, oh well. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because I
You know
have
what?
my
Somebody
small
told me
group.
that too. Somebody did say
like,
that about you. They was like, she got her sister, so it wouldn't even matter. Like people that have sisters that's very close, like it doesn't matter. Like the sister bond.
Yeah, it's
and then like Amber and Rhonda are sisters, so they will probably can contest to that. Amber says protecting yourself keeps you from growing, and Rhonda said protecting yourself at times keep you alone, which is not always healthy.
That's true too.
Yeah.
Because you're so busy getting rid of everybody that is unhealthy for you. You end up alone.
But eventually new good folks come along.
Yeah,
so
you just
can't you won't be lonely forever by yourself.
Right.
I mean, good people attract good people.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's the energy you're putting out, you'll get it back.
Right.
So what would be some things that we can think of? Let's see if we could get a couple of what things are we can do to play nice in the sandbox. Some suggestions.
Well, it's just kindness. It's like somebody said on here, treating each other the way you want to be treated. That's at the bottom line.
I think you can be real with a person, but in the way you do it.
Somebody used to always tell me that. They be
I mean?
like, you do not
That's
know how to
true.
present anything.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah. That's huge. No, not you, but I'm saying people's presentation towards others.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. That's huge.
But I mean, it's just huge because if it's a person that you love, it's just cut and dry. We never was like sugarcoat nothing. If it was what it was. You
See, me don't sugarcoat nothing with me, but I know how it is. It is what it is when it comes to her. So what I mean.
Well, I'm only like that with her,
Right.
but to other people, I do make a conscious effort to be like, well, you know. But to her, I'm like, well, why did you do that?
No,
That's stupid.
You be on the Marcos. You hear her cutting up on me, but it be the truth, and all I can do is sit there and take it. And
Right.
you do it too.
What?
You do it too.
What did I do?
You be getting on her.
You be getting on me too,
and I just be sitting there like.
Did you hear my thing today? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, wait a minute, I don't got too comfortable now. I don't even know if people like that. Some people like, don't say that word to me and do that. I was like, yes.
I was laughing at them Marcos.
So that would be one. You got one?
No, I guess it's what I was saying before, the presentation, how you come across to people when you playing in the sandbox. I mean, you can keep it real, but be the way you come across at being real.
Right, but then people will say that you are nasty. Like if somebody be like, hey girl, you know I don't mess with you.
You know? I would never say that.
Yeah.
But why can't you? That's being honest. Like don't like I think Rhonda, what do you think about that? Or whoever's looking, what do you think about that? Setting boundaries for yourself. You know you don't like me. Now you done came all the way from over there across the club or across from wherever and came over here click clacking. Hey girl. Don't speak to me.
Girl.
Is that nice?
But maybe they moved on, and maybe they're looking to see where you are still.
Girl,
if you're stagnant in your feelings, or have you gotten past it? You know what I mean? Because if you still holding a grudge about something that happened a while ago, don't you even eventually get over stuff like, it is what it is? Don't you ever get like
eventually
that?
you do.
Yeah, so that's what I'm
but
like.
If somebody made it known that they don't like you, and then they come from all the way from over there to come speak to you.
You would look at them like you're talking to me. I thought you didn't like me, but then...
Well, can't you just say that, though?
No.
Why can't you say that?
Because you don't want to. You want to try to grow and just...
I think a lot of people say that. They don't say that in Minnesota. If y'all think I'm wrong, I know I'm going to get a lot of slack. I think they say that everywhere else but Minnesota.
I don't know.
I think it's that nice, nasty thing. With the women that I grew up with, and I have not been home in a long time, but even when I go anywhere, no woman in history is so lenient as we are in Minnesota. I just don't think like they will tell, like it's so crazy because I could just think of scenes in my head or when I was growing up, they'd be like, bitch, don't talk to me. You know you don't like me. Like they would say it like,
oh.
And that will put that person in, like, it was a certain type of training growing up. Mm-hmm. And I just think that here, nobody has that certain type of training. Like, it's just all out there. Everybody do what they want to do.
And I agree with you, because I can, like, not trying to be funny, but the Southern women,
right,
they're like that.
Right. You wouldn't do
that. They are like that. They are very forward. Very forward.
Right.
And
so I think it's just a different kind of training.
Right.
That everybody just do what they want to do. I'm telling you, when I was sitting in that shop, I heard them women say that they do it all the time. I'm like, like that's a lot of effort to see somebody that you don't like, or just like even if to just politely put that person in place. Like don't even just don't speak to me. Just keep it moving. Like what do you gain from that? I have no idea. But
I think though it's a person trying to test the waters and see if you've gotten past whatever you and their issue was. I think that's what they're trying to do in their way. See, I love you so much. You remind me of me. Hey, Rhonda, don't she remind you of me 10 years ago? So cute. But yeah, it's cool though. But I mean, okay, so we got the next question. We're going to move on from that. Look, Rhonda said yes. I used to be like, but they, oh my God, Brother Robert. Okay, so let's see what the other one we had. When is it time to get out the sandbox? I know you kind of talked about that earlier, but when is a good time to get out the sandbox? When it becomes unhealthy for yourself. Mm-hmm. When it starts affecting you because you can't sleep. Mm-hmm. Then it's time to go for you. We're done.
Get all that sand off. You know it takes forever. You gotta get some water on you. Yep. You know what? I think it's, now that I'm kind of getting it, but I think it's time to get out. It's like actually when it's, when a person can't take you could be nice, but we're going to have a conversation. Like we need to have a conversation. We're going to talk about like, okay, you playing nice in the sandbox, but what we not going to do, and I guess that's the boundary thing. What we're not going to do is this, and this. You're not going to get around me and make sarcastic comments. You're not going to come around and be like, girl, hey, you didn't buy your drink. Girl, what you doing? Like we're not going to do that. It's just like if we're going to be around each other, you and I know we got this personal thing going on. Let's just keep it like that. and we don't have
What
to
if
fake
they
the
want to
funk.
straighten it out? What if they want to get past
It
it?
depends on it depends on what they want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, the situation. Some things you can't get past. Some things I'm not gonna get past because, I don't know. I just said that. Huh?
I usually give everybody a chance, but it's like you said, when you've been burnt so much, and that hasn't happened to me enough to make me a certain kind of way. That's probably why I'm still like rainbows and flowers.
Right.
Because I do have a close connection with her. So it's easy for me to let other stuff just roll off because I can call my sister and vent to her and then I'm over it.
Right.
See, and it depends on the situation with me. Because I'm going to tell you right now, there's a situation, and y'all are very well aware of it. I'm still like...
I almost spent the drink.
Like, I'm good.
Can we try our best?
Like,
we trying our best.
I will be the one.
When we trying our best, I'm like...
I'm good. Like,
but you
nobody
know what?
got to worry.
But it's so funny. But that's what Rhonda said. After you have a conversation in person and there is no change, I agree. Strong women like to know where they stand. And I just think that's true. Strong women really like to know where they stand. Do you think that the person is a weaker link if they can't tell you where they stand? Ooh. If a woman could be around you and not tell you how she feel about you, think they're weak?
Well, maybe she's just trying to play nice in the sandbox.
No, why she just can't tell me how she feels?
Maybe she's afraid to have that kind of conversation. Not too many people like to have that kind of conversation. Don't you think? I don't know. That's what I think. It's easier to avoid a situation than deal with it.
That's true.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Look at Edie.
Right?
Okay. Well, wait. So yeah, I think they don't know they self. It's like, and Trinice, another butterfly. She said, "Give them the benefit of the doubt." You right,
Yes.
No, when you already gave them the benefit of the doubt, they done.
You know what? I remember when I used to be, because them like some of my sisters that I used to go to church with, and I just remember when they used to talk to me, they're like, "You keep some snakes around you," and I used to be like, "No," like they would do something, and I would forgive them. My brother has been saying that my entire life, and everything. And I used to be like, "Man, no, they good," you know, because they would say they sorry or whatever, or portray to want to change, but they be like, "Girl, okay, but they stole something from you, and you gonna still leave your person on the table and walk out the room." So that was naive on my part, but it's still like you still have to have a certain boundary that you have to have when it comes to people, and so you have to know yourself to know, because sometimes you could be so blind, you know what I mean? Like you be blinded. I don't know what the blindness will be, but. I guess from just being nice all the time. Playing nice. When you playing nice, you're not ever sincere.
But the thing about it, the way I look at it is if I took on all that negative energy, because there's going to be so many people that don't like you for whatever reason, if I let that many people affect me, then eventually it may change me, and that's not a risk that I want to take. So I'd rather just try to get along for the sake of peace. Like you said, you categorize them and you leave them at that. When I vent to her, and then it's easy to let it go for me. But you're right. If I didn't have someone that I, could trust and talk to, I could see myself, my personality, taking on like, oh, she don't like. I think it would make me bitter and make me a different person.
Yeah, I get that.
You know what I mean? So for me, it's just like
always wondering. Like,
I still vent to you, and I still feel the same way.
You're an Aquarius, so.
They crazy.
Thanks. And I'm a Cancer, and I try to.
So, do anybody got any situations that they could think of, or like when they had to play? So, can you think of, or anybody that's watching that had a situation that they had to play nice in the sand? We can't get around this shit. Is there a situation that you had to play nice in the sandbox before that you could think of, like not concurrent or something that you can just kind of like pops in your head at work or anything? I
can think of one right quick.
What?
I put in for a position, so did another guy. I was totally qualified for it, and he was too. But I'm sure because his suit was brighter than mine, he got the position. So that, and now that made him be ahead of me in the company. And so to me, that kind of made me a little bit bitter because I felt like because his suit was so much brighter that maybe he looked better than me. This is why he was giving it.
It was tailored.
It was tailored. Mine was just regular, right? So that kind of pissed me off. But then I still had to now respect this guy that used to be under me. Now he's over me. You know what I mean? So I definitely had to. I told him I was honest with him because I'd known him for 4 years. I just said, you know what? I need a few days. And he left me alone for a few days, and then when I was ready, then I started treating him respectfully like I should.
Right. I think a lot of people have a lot of situations at work. I always have to play nice in the sandbox at work. Especially when I came. And you do all the time.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you do.
That's the hardest too, to play nice in the sandbox at work because you need your job. So
Alexandra says something here.
The fruits of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, and kindness, and goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. There is no law against these things. Galatians 5:22. Can't go wrong taking the high road. Drop the mic.
Don't ever do that again. Don't ever do that again.
Alexandra! It came out.
Drop the mic.
Drop the mic.
Don't ever do that again. Don't you ever do that. Oh, give me a black card right now. Give it to me.
We're going to take Tiffany's glass.
Yep.
Okay, that is right. That was nice.
Yes, it was.
It was nice. I mean, and I want to think like that. That's why I'm trying to get help on the podcast. That's why we here, sharing our stories and our lives with you people, because we need the therapy.
Yeah,
it's like free
it's free.
therapy, and it's great to have
people's input, other people, just to know that we're not like in our own crazy little group.
Right,
There's other people that maybe just as crazy.
This is good what Rhonda just said. Does the high road cause us not to walk in truth?
A little bit. But that's why I said I don't like to take it on because I think it'd change me. And I just
it definitely changed.
I don't want it to change me, so I just...
Because I swear I was so pure. I was so pure.
Who lied to you?
Girl, I was. But right now, I'm like...
Yeah.
No, you didn't. And it's like, oh my God. And it's like for me to change the person that I am right now, I absolutely never, because I never thought that I could be her or thought I had enough balls to be her. But it's like now it's such a war because you have to be her or you're going to get tore up. You have your other you have your other life skills that you get through life. I got all that other stuff together. But this person that I have to be right now with the boundaries and making sure people are in alignment of your respect, because the way you treat people, you will automatically, and maybe this is psychologically crazy, but just the way you treat people or to be a reflection of how you treat people or want to treat people, that you will automatically assume that they will know how to treat you. Yeah. And that's the worst mistake I think I've ever made, because if you try so hard to be a certain type of way to get a person to treat you that type of way, it doesn't matter. You could be the top of Jesus and the bottom of the devil. People gonna treat you however they want to treat you.
Only if you allow it.
Yeah, only if you allow it. But what I'm saying is in that decision making, it doesn't matter. I thought that the way that I treated everybody, that I would always get this way back, or somebody. But no, it does not matter. Like, you have to really set this standard for yourself, or you will get. And for me, it's like, and I, with all the little hip hop rap music, get from around me. Like, I can't even take it, because it's like, dang, like, something is mentally wrong with you if you have a person that's really nice to you, a person that's really supportive of you, a person that is really caring for you and all that, and you decide to do something that's totally opposite of that to ruin it or to risk it. that's something mentally that's unhealed and have not been touched, that need to be touched to be fixed. Because you would, like they said, hurt people. I love all the cliche stuff, but call it what it is. You got to stay there from around me until you get yourself together, because you will hurt me. Because what I'm trying to do is show you love, and what you're doing is giving me what you need to get fixed first, and then you can understand it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's a whole lot to do with it, and it's hard. Like it's hard to kind of deal with that.
You know, it's funny because I deal with people every day. Every day I deal with people, and it's like you said, your demeanor, the way you come off, sets the boundaries before you're even approached.
Yeah,
like the look on your face, your demeanor, it will set the boundary for a person to come up and say something to you, or you going up saying something to a person. Now me, I'm just, in my position, I'm just naturally nice. I have to be. Not that I'm not a nice person, because I am a nice person. I really am a nice person. Yeah. But at the same time, you'll get those that, like before, they'll take your niceness for weakness, and they'll try.
They'll try you.
Yeah. And then you'll see, switch of the, I will flip on you in a second.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to disrespect.
Aquarius, yeah.
Just saying.
So what would you suggest if there was a social setting? Well, look. Every time I say something, man, I cannot. We should have brought the Bible.
Listening to you.
So if there's a social setting, and there's someone that don't like you, but she's included in the group, and she's at this social setting, what would be an example of how you would play nice for that social event? And you had to be together for like 4 hours.
That happened to me.
Did it?
What did you do? At a conference, and what happens? We all sat at the table. She wouldn't say a word to me, and I wouldn't say a word to her. And even though I could see her out the corner of my eye, I'm sure she could see me. So
at the same table?
At the same table. She was actually sitting where Tiffany was, and I had somebody sitting, and just how I'm sitting here. Now, here's the funny thing about it. After she got done knocking back a few drinks, all of that changed. Literally, all that changed. I was like, "You okay over there?" Because I asked her, she was knocking them Captain and Cokes back. Like, boom, boom, one after another. I was like, I'll look at a person real quick because she was taking them back. She started talking. And I was sitting there thinking, I ain't never knew this about this woman. That changed my whole thought about her. And now, I actually think she's cool.
So maybe she needed some liquid encouragement. Did you ever find out why she didn't like you? I mean, because
we have meetings all the time, and she would sit across the table from me, and she wouldn't even look at me, y'all. She would literally look everywhere else but to look in my face. And we always used to sit across the table from each other.
That's a personal thing.
It is. And I've never done or said anything to
you. Don't have to. If some women, that's the crazy thing about us. If another woman intimidates us, we will act that way. We will just be that way. I don't know why, but...
Oh, I'm not going to let another woman bring me out of my character.
I know for me, when I was at a situation like that, when I came and I was like, I was so uncomfortable because I was like, I sat myself down and I walked out the door. I could not be around her. Like, I do not want you in my presence.
Really?
Yes, it is so bad. I'm gonna go get some therapy.
What if it's mandatory? Because ours was mandatory.
I can't be around a person.
But what about, so you're gonna let this person who may be invited to all the groups distract you?
And it's so sad because my friend is having an event. Oh my goodness, I love her so much. She just purchased her first home, and she invited me to come to her housewarming. I am not going.
So you're gonna let this one woman run you off?
I'm not going. No, I'm not going. I do need help.
You do, because
I do.
I already told someone do that.
Oh no, because I just know me. I just know, like, I'm very in tune with people's spirits, and I'm very in tune with messiness. Like, I could sit there if I'm having my little drink and I'm sitting here minding my business, and you say something slick that I know you. I can't just sit there and be like, she ain't talking to me. You're talking to me. So to protect thyself, I just don't put myself in that situation. And I love her to death. And I just told her that. I was like, I love you. I would love to be there. But I just know the characteristics of this messy person. Well, I'm not going to call him messy. But I just know that he's very, he has issues. So he's very, I can't describe his aura, whatever. But I just know him. So for me to understand that I stay in my position, I always like to protect myself. So I think that's another thing about me. I'm not going to put myself in that situation for a housewarming. To be sitting in this house and know if he say the wrong thing or she say the wrong thing, like it'll be different.
So you can't go there for your friend, focus on your friend and the issue at hand, and maybe go for a half an hour and then leave.
Because people ain't as I can't go there and do that because people. Let me tell you something about the enemy. He ain't got no stopping sense. He don't care about you, and he know every one of your weaknesses. Now we're gonna get into the spiritual part. He knows every one of your weaknesses. So for me, I would rather not even put myself in that situation because I know that I can. Honestly, I know that I can. I actually used to love to get on people's nerves that didn't like me. Now I'm gonna be honest about that. Like I was an irritator. If I knew that you did not like me, baby, I'm gonna walk this small waist and big butt in front of your face and irritate the heck out of you to make you want to punch me. But I understand now that the enemy, he tricks, you know, and he's very crafty and he's trickery. It's a lot of it. So I'm not gonna put myself in that situation to know that I possibly can, but I know that he goes to and fro. So if it doesn't work for this, oh, she just said that. I heard her just say that. And I've been in situations where it wasn't nice when he would do different things to make it a different, you know, kind of pump it up. And to me, and then like if you're drinking or like, I just don't want to put myself in that situation. But I just know like it probably won't work with you. Me and you having a conversation probably won't work with you. I passed that test. He don't go home and go to sleep. He goes back and get his book. Then he might do something with you. Then he don't work with you. Then he probably collabo with you too. Because just because I'm not available, there may be the 6 other people may be available. So you got to understand. So you always have to protect yourself. So that's why I said that. And I love her to death. You know what I'm saying? I love her to death. But it's like, you don't know. Sometimes people are in agreement with his stuff and the stuff that he wants to do. Especially when you know, moving on to different things. He have no problem with pulling you back. You know what I'm saying? So.
Interesting. That is a good point.
Yeah. So he said to and fro. You know, y'all wrote the scriptures. You know, to and fro. So, Rhonda said, why give that other person the power over you in your decision? Trinice said that's a lot of power to give one person. And you said, if you know, don't go. And I said, me and her that's probably why we did not get along, because me and her are just like our thinking. You know, you can't run that stuff like on, you know, each other. So if you know the stuff, you just don't go. Just stay at that situation. I cannot play nice in that situation. Because I can play nice, but I just know that they're not going to be nice. And I don't know how much I have about this thread this long, especially all the stuff that I've been going through right now. Like, you just don't want to take that out on nobody else. So
it wouldn't be enjoyable either. If
well,
you know yourself,
intense situation, you wouldn't have fun.
You'd always have your guard up, know that they're going to say or do something.
Yeah,
right.
That's not worth it.
So, another one with the thing to play nice was communicate effectively. We already kind of talked about that. And to worry about your own performance. I thought that was good.
Yeah.
If you worry about your own performance, you don't have to worry about playing nice with other people.
Yeah, right. Because they already know what type of person you are.
Right.
Yeah.
So, that was a little therapy for today.
Yes, it was. Yeah. It was really good.
Do you have a better understanding? Or how do you still feel about it?
I don't know. I think that it's a lot of work. It's different. It's foreign to me. Because like I said, my solution would have been like, I don't mess with them. Just keep it moving. But now just trying to deal with it. And it's going to need some work. How y'all feel about it?
I'm fine with it.
I know you already said, well, I got my sister, but I don't have to deal with it. But we'll figure it out. Thank you, Rhonda, Janelle. We had a lot of people. Alex. Y'all got
it. Was like a lot of
Jason, Mary, Claire, Peter, Vicky, Sylvia.
We can't.
Jason.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
We are in the process of some bigger things. So we thank you guys for being with us for all this time. It's been like almost a year and a couple months. But we got a lot of things that's coming up to be surprised. And we got a couple of announcements that we'll be making
later.
Yeah. I cannot with Mother Brown or Lord Jesus, but thank you guys. Next Thursday
at 7
p.m. we'll have our little backdrop back up, and we just getting it together. We got a little stuff coming together. So thank you guys.
Thanks everybody. We will see you next week.
All right.
Have a good night.
That would be Janelle.